Hey, just want to introduce myself. My name is Matt, and I am going to send a series of videos or shorts or however they come across the best to kind of guide the process of workman's comp. Um, the dirty parts and the poor communication parts and the parts where they're kind of trying to screw you over. We're going to go through start to finish. We're going to make them nice and easy and to the point. And I'm going to kind of cover my story in there on the shorts a little bit, but I wanted to start with what my story is to this point, and we will kind of just document it as we go. So I'm in week 5 currently right now. So I'm in the 5th week after injury. My injury was on 9/29 of 25. I fell exiting the back of a trailer on a mobile staircase. It was dark. It was like 6:50 or something like that. It was in the morning time, so it was still completely dark. Just misstepped and fell and reached out with my arm. So my left arm reached out. I fell on my arm and it hyperextended. I'd heard a really, really loud crunch noise. I kind of thought it was broke. It was very, very painful. I fell on my hip at the same time. I kind of like cartwheeled over on myself, I guess you'd say, but I fell from about 4.5 feet from the ground. So I was able to get up. I was able to get into the building, contacted a safety supervisor. He told me to go to the hospital. Somebody in the office took me to the hospital. So I got x-rays done. There's nothing really that they're going to do at the hospital emergency room other than to see if your arm's broke. So as soon as you tell them it's a workman's comp case, they really follow a strict set of guidelines, I guess you'd say. So they're not doing any MRIs. They're not doing CAT scans. They don't really care other than to see if your arm's broke or not on an initial injury. So you're in the hospital. They say your arm's not broke, right? My arm's not broke, and they release you. So I go to a follow-up visit. I get an MRI ordered finally after 3 weeks. So the first week I got medication prescribed to me, hydrocodones. I was told to take ibuprofens to reduce the swelling. Week 2 wasn't any better. Doctor follow-up visit, and I was told to continue the medication, but it added Mobic. It's kind of it's an anti-inflammatory to try to bring the swelling down some more. My range of motion is terrible in my arm. So my arm range of motion, I'll show you. This is as far out as my arm I can put it. And it feels like there's like a ball of rubber bands that are like stretching themselves out and then pulling themselves back together. And there's an incredible amount of pain. That's as far as I can go. So typically, an arm will go like this. And that's as far as I can get my arm to go. So when I pull it into myself, this is as close as I can get to touching my face. And I feel that same pain, that ball of rubber bands. And after even just doing that, I've got like a dull pain in there. But when I'm trying to pull it and stretch it to that limit, it's got a super, super sharp stabbing sensation in there. So it hasn't gotten any better since the very beginning. Yeah, the swelling's down, and the initial kind of like throbbing where I could feel, I could feel my heartbeat in my arm, in my injury area. Like I could feel it throbbing. It hurt so bad for the first full week. Second week felt a little better. I'd say the anti-inflammatories reduce the swelling and the inflammation inside the joint. But range of motion exactly the same from then. So nothing's changed on the range of motion. So week 2 went by, and I had a follow-up visit again, and no change. So no change. Swelling's gone down. The initial throbbing's gone down, but the amount of pain from arm joint stop to stop has not reduced at all. It hurts extremely bad. So there's something damaged in there. So the doctor, he orders an MRI. And don't know if you're familiar with workman's comp or not. Probably not. That's why you're watching my videos. But large corporations, they like to use a company called Sedgwick. Sedgwick is a third party that handles the workman's comp case for the insurance company through your work. So not your insurance, but your job or your employer, he carries or they carry workman's comp insurance, and they have to by law, legally. So that insurance company, they don't want to handle the workman's comp case themselves, so they farm it out to Sedgwick. So let me tell you about Sedgwick. It's a third party. Their number one goal right from the start is to deny your claim. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm not lying. Their goal from the start is to find a way to deny your claim. So you release a medical authorization to them. You have to, from what I've been told. I guess you don't have to, but you don't also have to accept the help. You don't have to accept the pay, and you don't have to accept the medical. But if you do want those, you're going to have to. So you release your medical to them. They can look at your whole history of your entire life, and they try to find anything in there that will coincide with your current injury. And then if you do have something, like you have, say, a previous back repair, surgery or something you had earlier in your life, and now you've hurt your back at work. It could have been 15 years ago. And what they will say is they say, no, that your current injury is stems off of the previous injury that you have, so now you are denied. So it's a real shitty company. They're out to screw people over. They're out to find loopholes. They're being paid to save as much money as possible. So you need to remember that. So Sedgwick, they've got a team of lawyers fighting against you. And at this point, you don't have a lawyer. So should you get a lawyer? Probably. Do you need a lawyer? No. But you should probably get one. So that's what I've been told. Okay, so I've got an MRI ordered in my case. I hear nothing. Crickets. I call my examiner about a week later. So that's week 4, in the mid of week 4. Call him, and he's not got a letter. He's not got anything from the doctor's office yet. I call the doctor's office. Doctor's office says, yes, we sent it. So I call my examiner back. My examiner says he's not gotten it. So it's like this big circle jerk of turmoil on something that should be an emergency, right? I'm into week 4 at this point, no emergency, and nobody knows what they're doing. Finally, in the middle of week 4, I get a response from a company called Apricus. So now this is where it gets real tricky, and I'm probably going to lose you because I lost myself so many times, it's unbelievable. So you work for an employer who has an insurance company, and that insurance company uses a third party to handle your workman's comp claims, Sedgwick. Sedgwick uses a third party called Apricus to handle their scheduling for the medical. So then I call Apricus. I have to set up, I have a new examiner at Apricus. I get involved with them. I make contact, and they are going to order me an MRI. So they find out where I live. They try to find the closest one. I get a call back 6 o'clock that afternoon from another company called Mitchell Industries. It's an Inlight company. So they're all kind of a blanket company of all these little small companies. And a lady from Mitchell Industries wants to see about making me an MRI appointment. And so now I'm real confused, right? Is Sedgwick doing it? And now I find out it's Apricus. And now later that night, it's another company. So I'm in pretty bad shape mentally trying to track this all down and figure it all out. Keeping very good notes, by the way. Everything's noted down, who I spoke with, what time, what dates, everything. And I'm doing that just in case I need a lawyer in the future. So finally, Mitchell Industries, they get me an appointment at my local MRI imaging facility, and I get an MRI at the very end of week 4. I go through week 5 and have still, to this day, right now, I'm at the very end of week 5. I've not heard from anybody as of yet. So I've not heard from anybody. I called Monday morning and I asked the imaging place if they got results from my MRI, and they said yes. And so I was trying to be really nice because I know that they probably should and could say, no, we can't give you the results because it's a workman's comp case and you didn't pay for it, right? So I played really nice and I asked if they could send them to me, and they said yes. So they sent me my MRI results. So thank goodness for that. I was able to use ChatGPT, which is absolutely amazing. Probably for an older person my age, I'm 42. For somebody my age, ChatGPT is like somebody discovering the iPhone for the first time. I know I'm late to the race, but it's like getting an iPhone when iPhone 5 came out. So, but it told me what was wrong with my arm. So, but at this point right now, I've not heard anything from the hospital. The follow-up doctor, the Occumed doctor, I've not heard anything from the Sedgwick person. There's absolutely no communication, none. So this video series that I'm going to do, these short videos on, is going to cover my journey a little, but also kind of like what to expect, what's going to happen, what should happen, what could happen, what to look out for, and those type of things involving Sedgwick, involving the process, which the process in my mind was a big fat question mark because everybody I asked said they don't know. My boss said he doesn't know. The safety manager said he doesn't know. The workman's comp doctor, nurse, she didn't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows the process. So it kind of takes going through it and figuring it out, and that I have. So I'm pre-surgery if surgery is required, and I'm pre-physical therapy if there is no surgery required. So I'm in that stage right now. So we're going to track this whole entire thing probably through the next 6 months of them attempting to force me back to work prematurely, attempting to violate my rights as an employee, and then also with probably the threat of me not getting paid. So let's go through this together, and I'm going to build up a bunch of shorts to get us to the current state. And then once we're to the current state, the little short videos will come a little bit slower and with days and days in between, just updating on the case, updating on pay, or updating on imaging, or just updating on communication. So stick with me. It's going to be a long journey. So hopefully you like, subscribe, right? That's what everybody says, like and subscribe. Help me out a little bit, but this is my very first string of videos I've ever done, and I appreciate it. Thanks.